I'm sat in my van outside a job whilst I'm doing an energy logging session here, and I'm waiting for the energy logger to download the data because I don't like to leave site unless the data is on my computer, in the logger and in the cloud. Ideally, three locations on two different formats. One of them off site, although they're all in the van, but the one in the cloud's not, so it's over there. So anyway, I thought I'd answer this question, yeah, and it's related to my self-employed blog. And I said that what I wanted to do was, I wanted to answer some questions that get set in the comments that I think are quite good. And this one's about how do I handle operating expenses? How do I offset them against the bank account and all that kind of stuff, yeah? So I'm guessing the general gist of the question is, how do I allow for my operating expenses? Well, there's two ways I'll tell you how I do that personally, yeah? One of them is the business way, the actual accountancy way. And the other one is how I do it in my head. I'll put a thing in here to break it up. Right, here's how it works, yeah. In my head, which gets me through the day and makes me feel like working, doing stuff like that, I do what I refer to as offsetting. So I'll go, working at Forest, yeah, the working at Forest on the football. I haven't done the maths on this, but I generally consider that there's a few matches a month, yeah, in summer, plus a few extras. Even though over the year it's about 2 matches a month, that pays for my van. This van I'm sat in, I own it outright, but I haven't got it on a knock. I've got it on credit. No, I ain't got it credit. I've got it on a loan from the bank. So that pays for this van, yeah, and it doesn't sort of covers the insurance as well. So like I do that. That's my little thing. Working there covers that. The money I get off Chevron for sponsoring the podcast pays for my office. So that office is free. So now I've got a free van and a free office. The money I make off YouTube covers about fucking 1/16 of the rent on the store. But I'd hopefully one day, with a nice back catalogue of educational and comments, stuff like that, it'll maybe cover that. So then I've got an office, a van, and a store for free. Which sort of then I start thinking, well, actually now when I work, I'm making the money. My insurance is about £1,000 a year. That's the first 5 jobs I do in the year, hopefully. I don't know, that's how I say I do a lot of offset. That's all I manage to offset at the minute, because that's the earnings I've got, yeah. So that's how I do it in my mind to make myself feel more comfortable about fanning around doing nothing. Now let's talk about the business side of it, the accounting side of it. So I'm not an accountant, I'm a bookkeeper. I keep a set of books, as I alluded to in that video, yeah. I get my books and I put all my receipts in them. And you have got to be fucking religious on that, yeah. Every fucking single thing you buy, get a VAT receipt. If they're a VAT registered, get a receipt. Then you put it into a fucking accountant's book, yeah? So it matches your bank statements, matches your credit card statements, and you make sure you keep all your cash receipts in the right order. Because effectively, I keep my books and those are my books. After that, those receipts and that go to my accountant. And all the things like how do you show it on your bank statements, I don't do any of that. I don't do fucking any of that. I pay my accountant to do that because they know what they're doing. You can do your own accounts. I would strongly suggest you find yourself a good accountant, because good accountants who look after lots of small businesses know how to fucking play the game. Know how to do things like claim a bit of money back off your tax for working from home. Claim money back for laundry. Put your books in. So when you're asking me how I do like my main costs of like this van, the office, because realistically I don't offset them like I said in the previous bit of the video. Realistically what happens is I earn a load of money and a lump of money every year. I pay for a lump of things every year that I need to be a business. And the taxman says, you've got this much left, that's profit. We're going to tax you on that. So effectively, really, everything's just lumped together in costs. So you have operating costs, which is my rents, my insurance and all that. I don't sit there and offset them against each job. I see that I have a yearly operating cost, which is the van, insurance, fuel, those things that I've got to do without. And then I have little operating costs like going and buying some screws and that. But then with those things, those buying things, they need charging to a customer, which I'll cover next. But I offset in my head. My accountant does all the actual fundamental thing about jiggling the stuff around, what gets tax claimed and all that. They handle all that for me and I pay them for that. And I pay them to do my VAT return, I pay them to do a tax return. It's a considerable amount of money, but it's a considerable amount of time I don't have to fuck around. If you're not VAT registered as well, it's loads easier. Just put your receipts in, your account works it all out. Honestly, one of my top bits of advice is get a fucking good accountant. I use a little one in Nottingham. If you're local to me, I don't mind telling you who it is. Yeah, message me. But They deal with a lot of small businesses like myself, and they know exactly what they're doing, and they get on with it. And the third thing I want to cover in there is how do you... some of your costs are related to your job. So let's say I'm doing a job at Mrs. Miggins' house and Mrs. Smith's house, yeah? Mrs. Miggins wants some sockets and Mrs. Smith wants some lights. So what I do is when I go to the wholesalers and I'm getting both job stuff, I go in the wholesalers and go, hey mate, can I get 10 lights and some cable? And they go, yeah, do you want a reference on it? They always say that, don't they? They go, yeah, I want Miggins lights. What is it? 1204. And then I go to them again, hello, again, I want to buy some more stuff. I want some sockets and some cable. And they go, do you want a job number on it? I go, yeah, I want Smith 1204 sockets. Then when those bills come through, rather than going for a fucking massive, huge list of bills and looking for all the little fucking odds and sods that have been spent and allocated to different customers, I just take the entire invoice for Smith and charge it to them, and the entire invoice for Miggins and charge it to them. It's that fucking simple. If you mash it all together, you've got to sit there and separate all that bastard. Whereas if you just get the fucking wholesaler to do you 2 separate receipts on the computer, which is absolutely no problem for them, then you have made your paperwork easier. Every receipt you get, if you nip into screw fix or fucking some shit all like that, because you've absolutely got to get something on the sat there, and it's Mr. Miggins' house, right on it, Miggins, sockets. Then that, as soon as you get in the office, as soon as those receipts come in, read the reference or read what's written on it, bash, take that figure, put it on her invoice, take that figure, put it on her invoice, and religiously keeping your books like that will save you fucking loads of time. So that's why, I hope that answers that question that's been put up here. I'm probably going to answer another one now, but I'm going to go in and check this fucking meter first, see if that's going off. Next one, I don't know if this is on Instagram or if it's on YouTube, but I thought I'd answer this anyway. This is this one. Is it worth getting EngTech, INC and being a member of an organisation? Right. When I was younger, I weren't that fucking bothered. I didn't think it was a thing. I didn't think anyone would bother me because I knew what I was doing. I was a good spark. I had a gold card. I was a technician, all that, yeah. If you're in the talking Sparks language, yeah. If you go and join a JIB firm, you get your JIB card, yeah. So you start as an apprentice, then you become an electrician, then you become approved, then you become a technician, then you get your black card site manager, then you get your black card contracts manager. They're all great, yeah. They're going to be fucking brilliant, right? Then you should probably have them by the time you're in your 30s. What are you going to do then? Like, what are you going to do? So, do I think iEng, which I am, I'm an iEng. So, in the Eng word, it goes iEng. No, it doesn't. That's wrong. It goes EngTech, iEng, CEng being chartered, yeah? Do I want to get chartered? Absolutely, yeah? Was I late to the game? I think not. I did my EngTech in my mid-30s, which I think is probably a bit late to be doing it. You could do that easily in your 20s. If you're a gold card spark, you can get EngTech. Then it'll take you longer to work towards your iEng. I could get my iEng now if I could just be all sitting down and do the paperwork, which I'm not doing, so I'm too busy running a business. People will go, oh, Ponce with your letters after your name. You don't have to put the letters after your name everywhere. You don't have to tell everyone what you do. You just put it in your CV. Unfortunately, the way things work, yeah, when you're working for bigger firms, all the big boys, they like to see it. It gives them an air of confidence that you can be fucking arsed. You might be the best installation spark in the world. You might be the best designer in the world. But I do know firms, I'm not going to name them, that will just go, we're not accepting a design or a drawing or plans off someone who's not chartered. Yeah, because they want to see you've gone through that process, that you're used to dealing with process and all that kind of thing. And I know a couple of people that have got chartered because they've had to. I'm doing it myself. I'm going to go for chartered. I'm not in a fucking mad rush because I work for myself. It's just something I want to do. And I want to do it for me, not for getting the work, although it probably would help, especially in teaching. But I want to do it and talk about it so that I encourage other people to do it. Because if you're in your 20s, you should be looking at doing your EngTech. Yeah, get used to doing that process. Then when you're in your late 20s, early 30s, you can look at doing your iEng. Then you can go for your chartered. You might even get a fellowship out of it. Do I think it's worth it? Yes. You've got to be a member of a professional organisation. In our case, the IET, yeah, which I am not a member of because I'm in the Royal Engineers. The Royal Engineers have their own professional institution, which is called the Royal Engineers Association. No, it's not. It's called the Royal Engineers. I'm going to put it here or dub it over now.
Institution of Royal Engineers.
It's called that, and they run their own version of the IT, which can issue out ING, CEng and all that stuff, yeah. So I'm a member of that. If I'm an Eng Tech now, if I go and join the IET, which I'm thinking about doing, to be honest, then I can use the ING or whatever I've got with that organisation, yeah. I probably should do an old video on it, but this was this little rundown, so I'm asking if it's worth it. Is it worth it? Well, is your JIB card worth it? In the pool you're in, your JIB card is a big thing. In the pool you will probably move into as you get older, it's a big thing. I don't want to spend my entire life kneeling down on my fucking knees, yeah, or fucking crawling around floorboards. So it pays to get ahead, doesn't it? And I've told a couple of people I speak to on Instagram that, get your ING done, get your CEng done, get it, whichever one you can get done. Just do it. It's a little bit of money, but you're always investing in your future. It's going to be better than fucking all them fucking crypto scams that come around it. Having an ING or an Eng Tech, just like having NEBOSH, yeah, or IOSH, or a safety passport. When you go to the job, they're like, oh, it's just a gold card spark with a CSCS. Oh, but he's gone and got a NEBOSH or an IOSH safety qualification. So he obviously cares more about safety because he's gone and done that. That's what you're doing. You're putting yourself out of the competition. Be one of them fucking wankers that says, oh, I don't fucking need any of that bollocks. I'm a spark for the rest of my life and enjoy being destitute when your fucking legs pack up beyond 45, yeah? Whereas I'll be sat in a fucking van talking to the fucking internet. No, not really, but yeah, it's worth it. It is worth it. Like when I do designs now and I put Eng Tech on them, I've sort of sat there going, oh, I wish I could put ING in it. So yes, get that done, read into it and get it done. I'm not going to tell you how to do it because part of the process is reading up on it, learn about it, joining the institution that you're going to join, going through their process, going through the interview and doing all that. So yeah, get on that, you twat.